Red Dead Redemption 2 has finally hit stores with what is arguably one of the biggest games ever. Whether you've completed it or can't be bothered to put in the kind of 100-hour work week that Rockstar demands in order to see the end, I'm here to break down what happens. Using reviews, cutscenes and spoiler talks, I've put together a breakdown of both endings for the game as well as the epilogue scene. There will be heavy spoilers for both, and this is your last chance to avoid temptation and turn this video off. With that out the way, I'm Deffinition and I play the game so you don't have to. By the game's ending, the Dutch Van Der Linde gang is in complete disarray. Arthur, who at this point is dying of tuberculosis, realises that he hasn't got long left for this world and decides to try and be a good man for once in his final few days. He rescues John and Sadie and reunites with Abigail in order to showcase that he has turned over a new leaf. Counter-attacking this good karma is Dutch. The character successfully manages to turn the Wapiti tribe and Eagle Flies against the US Army and uses their conflict as an opportunity for one final score. They successfully rob the US payroll that is on board the train, and on the most part it's a great payout for Dutch and Mika. John, however, is shot and presumed dead during the heist, whilst Abigail is abducted by the Pinkertons. Dutch shows his true colours and leaves Abigail to her fate, which leaves the task of rescuing her for Arthur and Sadie. Both storm Van Horn and manage to kill Agent Miller, who reveals that Mika was in fact the Pinkerton rat. Arthur returns to the camp to reveal this to Dutch, who refuses to accept it. John too turns up and confronts Dutch about leaving him for dead. The camp are forced to scatter before they can fully settle their differences, and it is at this point that the player is given a choice on affecting the game's outcome. You can either help John or go back for the money. Either option ends with Arthur and Mika getting into a fight, which forces Dutch to intervene. Dutch appears torn on who to kill due to the new knowledge that Mika is now a rat, but instead of killing either, he simply walks away. Your choice earlier changes the fate of Arthur in some respects, but still does not alter the fact that he dies. Greedy players who went back for the money will eventually be killed by Mika. However, players that went back and helped John will see Arthur come to the realization that in the end he was a good person, and they will be treated to the character looking out over a beautiful view before succumbing to the tuberculosis. It's a slightly dour note to end on, as Arthur dies either way, and Dutch and Mika both get to fight another day. However, the game possesses an epilogue that ties up all these loose ends and leads into the rest of the games in the series. We fast forward a few years and players are now in the shoes of John Marston, who fans will of course recognise as the protagonist from Red Dead Redemption. John works as a farmhand with Abigail and is forced to take up guns once more in order to protect innocent people at the ranch. Though Abigail is disappointed by this, John fights to prove that he can change his ways and sets out to build Beecher's hope on a recently acquired plot of land. John finds happiness with Abigail there, and during his time learns information about Mika's whereabouts. John eventually tracks Mika and a broken down Dutch. In the standoff, Dutch kills Mika and disappears into the night, desperate to leave the life behind that destroyed him. Whether this was because of the betrayal that they did to Arthur or just that Dutch had had enough of Mika's lies is open to interpretation, but it's great that the character found redemption much in the same way that Arthur did. John recovers the money and returns to Abigail, and in the post-credits scene we learn how Edgar Ross discovered John's location, and the game beautifully sets up the events that happen in Red Dead Redemption. So, what are your thoughts on the ending of Red Dead Redemption 2? Did you go for the money or save John? Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please like it and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you check out my breakdown of the ending of Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which will be linked at the end of this one, and if you want to support our channel so we can bring you more content like this, then please donate to the Patreon linked in the description. This is a channel for the hardcore players, so if video games are the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Deffinition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.